I'm Officer Jeff Pennings, and you're going to be riding with me today. I've been with the police department since April of 2025, and today we will be riding in Zone 20. I have about a year of prior law enforcement experience, and I have a bachelor's in criminal justice from University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I was born and raised in Menasha. I currently live in the village of Fox Crossing, which is formerly the town of Menasha. Went to Menasha Joint School District in the police department. I get to bring all of my skills to the table. A lot of police officers have their own strengths and their own skills that they bring to the table, and they bring to the police department. Personally, I love doing traffic enforcement and having community contacts. It's something extra that police officers can do. Helps keep the community safe, gets us out in the community so that we're visible, we're out there. And something else I like to do is I try and make a non-police contact, so stop out with people outside of a law enforcement contact, just say hi, make myself visible, see if there are any concerns going on. I would say one of the biggest traffic problems we have is younger kids, even adults, on e-bikes, electric scooters, and all kinds of stuff that we haven't been seeing in the past. A lot of people are riding on the roadways and disregarding stop signs, stop lights. They don't have proper lighting for nighttime environments. We run into that all the time where, bottom line, young kids and even adults at times are operating in unsafe ways. So if I ever see a violation like that, I like to make that stop, just educate whoever the individual is on traffic laws or city ordinance, just because we want everybody to be safe is our bottom line. And, if spending 10 minutes with someone, educating them about stopping at stop signs or a stoplight or putting a light on the front and back of their bike for nighttime, if any of that can prevent a less fortunate contact, I'm more than happy to do that. Well, what makes this job fun is a typical shift can really range all over the place. I've had days where it's call to call, and we're trying to do our best to address the needs of the citizens. And I've had days where all I'm doing is traffic stops and walking through parks and having as much contact with the community as possible. And that's what makes this job fun. I would say a typical day just includes answering calls for service, which can range from anything from a juvenile acting out to full-scale felony crimes. Try and get a few traffic contacts in there just because we want the community to be aware that we're out here trying to keep people safe, and try and get in a couple community contacts outside law enforcement, say hi to the public, see if there's anything going on. That's my radar. It's indicating that this guy's going 42 and a 25, so we're gonna flip around on this guy and make a traffic stop here. Echo 59 traffic.
Echo 59, bud.
London and 4th. It is a gray sedan. Get you a plate in a second. Correction, Conomac and 4th. Plate. Hello. I'm Officer Pennings, Menasha PD. Reason I pulled you over is going 39 and a 25. As officers, we're required to visually estimate a speed first and make sure that our speed estimation is consistent with what we're seeing on radar. So when I'm looking for a speed violation, I'm looking at a car, making sure that it looks like it's speeding, first of all, and then using radar to confirm whatever my speed estimation was. So this individual has received a couple citations in the past, one of them at least being for speed. He was going 42 and a 25, so that's pretty significant speed as well. As well as there were a couple other minor violations involved in this case. Just because of all those circumstances, I'm going to issue a ticket for the speed. What I did, though, is I reduced the speed on the ticket, so he was going 42 and a 25. What I'm writing him for is 35 and a 25. Just reduces the fine amount by a little bit. Meets him somewhere in the middle, so we're not giving everybody tickets for every little thing around the way. Sure, so we use a program called Tracks. It puts all the information into the citation for us, and then we have a printer in the car, prints it right here, we're able to issue it on scene, and then records will take care of sending this off to the court at a later time. All right, sir, so we have a computer in here that assists us with managing our calls. Right now, I will label my body cam footage so that it's stored under this case number and it can be easily found later. And then I'll add some comments about what happened on the traffic stop and clear the call out. So today we are at minimum staffing. So all that means is we've got a few patrol officers working. We'll answer this call. Pennings.
Hey, Jason. Real quick, are you going to that animal call at Elizabeth Court?
I will be in the area in case Ruby needs something, but I wasn't planning on it. There's a lot of memorable calls. Being out very early on in training, I don't think I had even started on the road at this point with Menasha. I just happened to be riding along with another officer who ended up speaking to an individual with some mental health issues on the call. And one of the things that was going through my head is, oh, other law enforcement agencies would do this, or other law enforcement agencies would do that, and so I already had an idea of where I thought this call was going to go. What that officer ended up doing was very different from what I expected. They essentially mediated the situation between a few individuals on scene, came up with an action plan which was not within the scope of normal law enforcement action, meaning nobody got charged with a crime, nobody was taken to jail, nobody was issued a summons. There was really no danger to the public or to that individual in the call either. But this officer went above and beyond to put in extra time with this person and come to a conclusion that, in my opinion, was beyond what's expected from normal law enforcement activities. He ended up giving that individual a ride to a facility outside of town, which was approved by the shift commander. I just know other law enforcement agencies don't do that. It was a really cool experience to watch an agency go outside of the box from normal law enforcement. Law enforcement's just people. I find myself saying that a lot. Believe it or not, law enforcement officers are human beings. We make mistakes, and we just want to be treated with respect just like everybody else. So I always treat people as I would want to be treated, and I hope other people do the same for me. Later, sir. Have a good day. So I was just talking to the victim of one of our crimes here in Menasha. He was the victim of a criminal damage to property case. In this case, there's several $1,000s worth of damage, which oftentimes makes it a felony. So I was just discussing with the victim how to get restitution, the different rights he has with court hearings, with the defendant in this case, how to make his wishes and wants known to the district attorney, how to update the case report with the police department, all that information. In this case, we actually have two different victims. He's the landowner of a property which was damaged, and then we have the tenant who's also the victim of a crime. So a lot of moving parts in this case, and I was just wrapping up this half of that case. One of the things we deal with on a daily basis is trying to work through situations where the reporting person has waited to call the police, or we're dealing with an after-the-fact incident. A good example is somebody observes a suspicious vehicle in the area. They wait to drive home to report it, and now 20 minutes has passed and the vehicle isn't there anymore. Or somebody is receiving harassing or at times threatening text messages from someone, and they wait weeks or even months in some cases to notify the police, and now the police have to get there and sift through 3 months or 3 weeks or 3 days of messages trying to figure out exactly when this started, what was said, is it a two-sided issue or a one-sided issue. We just got a call today where somebody witnessed something very suspicious that probably should have been reported immediately, and it's now 2 hours after the fact, and we don't know if we're going to be able to locate the individuals involved just because of how much time has passed. So if you observe something suspicious or you think you need officer assistance, I would encourage you to call the police immediately. We work 4 days on and 4 days off. Your first 3 days are 12-hour shifts, and your Friday will be an 8-hour shift. I enjoy that personally. It gives us a lot of off days, a lot of time to decompress, kind of relax, get work out of our head, and then even enough time to sort of get back into the work mindset on the other side of the weekend. So I really enjoy that. 12-hour shifts might seem like a lot, but it really goes by fast when you're engaging with the community, working as a police officer. I mean, each call, you could have 20 calls in a day, each of them 15 minutes long. You could have one call that takes your whole 12-hour shift. So it goes by fast when you're doing stuff, and it's never a dull moment in this career.
In just 2 12-hour shifts, Officer Jeff Pennings handled everything from traffic stops and welfare checks to disturbances and neighborhood patrols. From sunrise to well past sunset, he moved from street to street, responding, checking, reassuring. This was a glimpse into what every shift in Menasha looks like. Calm moments, quick decisions, and quiet acts of service that never make headlines. For Officer Pennings and all of our officers, it's not just a job. It's the promise to protect and serve every hour that we're on the street. Menasha Police Department, leading with service, partnership, and pride.